Friday, November 28th.
Today is a great day for the people of Alberta and for all of Canada.
Thank you very much.
As Alberta celebrates a deal with the federal government to work together on a pipeline to the west coast, others cry foul, and one Liberal cabinet minister quits. Amid an early season losing skid, frustration at Oilers practice after what appears to be an injury setback.
It's Christmas coming up, and that's like a time to be grateful.
And students from several local schools team up to help the less fortunate as the season of giving begins in our city. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your Friday morning, Edmonton, and what a Friday it is. It looks a whole lot different than Thursday did for at least most of the day. The snow and the ice has arrived, Corey.
That's right. We were expecting flurries last night, but I think it's caught us all a little bit off guard. It definitely intensified more than it looked like it would. So we have snow, and it could cause a few problems today. We're anticipating that for sure, especially the roads. My drive in, not much traffic, but it wasn't that great even with that said. The cold has arrived. We've got a cold and chilly weekend to follow, and then a bit of a warm-up for next week. An interesting forecast coming your way. I'll have all those details as we go throughout the next 3 hours, Kent.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, let's take you to that first serious snowfall of the season that has now swept over the city. So it started to fall early in the evening yesterday, causing traffic to slow down for many trying to get home. There are still a few flakes falling this morning, mostly out to the west, but there's certainly going to be shovels and blowers out to clear the way today. We will be closely watching your drive and alert you to any problem. It's a good idea to leave early, give yourself time and space on the road. So let's go right back to Corey for more on how long this is going to last. An interesting forecast, as you say. But just to also agree with you on the drive in. Not a lot of cars out there when we come to work, but I was sliding all over the place.
Yeah, so you're going to really need to be careful out there. Once you start putting a few more cars on there, it's going to get even worse. So be careful on the roads. Give yourself a lot of space and grace because it is going to be tricky. The morning commute, the side streets weren't great. Stony Plain Road wasn't great either, so I imagine a lot of the bigger routes also are going to fall into that category of not being great. As we take a look at the satellite radar, most of the snow now just west of the city. Spruce Grove, Stony Plain might be catching a little bit of flurries on the Henday, but as we take a look, most of this is off to the west, and we are done mostly with it. If you are heading south to Red Deer, Calgary, those areas also dealing with some snow. Calgary under a snowfall warning. So both major cities in the province are dealing with it. The good thing is it will stay to the south of us, the most of it, and then as we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see the cloud break here in the city. So, Kent, at least we are done with the heavier amounts of the snow falling in the city, mostly just west right now. So if you are coming in from Spruce Grove or Stony Plain, give yourself a little extra space and grace out there.
Yeah, we'll have to deal with what's on the ground already. Thank you, Corey. Well, after months of negotiation and speculation, Danielle Smith and Prime Minister Mark Carney have signed a memorandum of understanding for a pipeline to the BC coast. Now, inside this deal, the federal government has agreed not to implement the oil and gas emissions cap and offer exemptions to the oil tanker ban. Alberta is saying yes to carbon capture initiatives, industrial carbon pricing in the oil and electricity sector, lowering methane emissions and committing to net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. The provincial and Liberal leaders say Canada and Alberta will work together to convince British Columbia and First Nations to agree to the project and find a private partner to pay for a pipeline.
Completing the pipeline will also require a private sector proponent. And if you know one in the room, please, you can come see us. You can come see us afterwards.
Today is a great day for the people of Alberta and for all of Canada.
The Memorandum of Understanding states that Alberta must include Indigenous groups and collaborate with BC. The Premier of BC, David Eby, says the project has no private proponent and also needs the support of coastal First Nations. Now, soon after this was signed, the Prime Minister received a standing ovation.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was the reception from about 1,000 business leaders at a Calgary Chamber of Commerce event yesterday. Carney taken aback by the enthusiasm. The Chamber and the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers called the announcement transformative and a major relationship builder with Ottawa.
The elimination of the emissions cap, changes to the greenwashing legislation, and the commitment to expand our access to global markets can be the catalyst to unlock Canada's full economic potential, to invite new investment into major projects, and to enable our country to take our rightful place as the world's next energy superpower.
Environment groups like Greenpeace Canada say this is a step in the wrong direction, both economically and environmentally. Now, the Prime Minister lost a member of his cabinet over this new energy deal. Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault has resigned from his position in cabinet. Guilbeault is the former Environment Minister. Some of the environmental laws he helped put in place were watered down in this agreement. In a lengthy statement online, Guilbeault says he strongly opposes the Memorandum of Understanding with Alberta and that he made this decision with great sadness. Guilbeault will stay on as a Liberal MP. We'll have much more in reaction to this deal coming up later in your morning. Well, Boyle Street and MacEwan University are working together to help Edmonton's homeless. For a fourth year, university students and staff are stuffing backpacks full of everyday essentials. MacEwan has been collecting items like toques, gloves, socks, and snacks for people who need them. Anything that can help during the cold winter months.
And then, of course, there's these cards that the students write, these notes that they write, words of encouragement to our community members so that they can remember that we're all in this together. There are people in the broader community that want to support them.
Edmonton's Kinsman Club donated money so the group could purchase backpacks for all the items collected. The Oilers are in Seattle tomorrow night trying to get out of an early season funk, but the frustration continues. Even at practice, things boiling over yesterday after forward Kasperi Kapanen appeared to have a setback. Kapanen sending sticks flying after leaving the ice early. Moments before, he appeared to be hurt and struggling off the ice before taking a short skate, then heading down the tunnel toward the team's dressing room. Kapanen has played 6 games so far this season and has been sidelined for most of it because of injury. Head coach Chris Knobloch did not provide an update to Kapanen's status after practice, but he said Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been cleared to play, so he could be in the lineup tomorrow in Seattle against the Kraken. All right, let's bring Corey back in for a further look at the forecast and beyond the snow we're dealing with this morning. Interesting things coming through the weekend and into next week.
Yeah, we've got some colder days to come our way, and then next week we've got a warm up once again, possibly a few days where we could see a little bit of a rain-snow mix. So the weather very up and down. I guess we're still kind of towards the end of a shoulder season as we head into winter, and the weather's still not completely settled yet. As we take a look at our almanac for today, our high for today, we are going for a -9. Average seasonal high is -3. Average seasonal low -11. Expecting to dip down to -11. Last time I looked, we were at -10. Still there right now. North winds on the light side, which is good, so not adding much more of a chill. At the airport, temperature there also -10. Wind fairly light. So the wind remaining light. Cloudy to start off. We might see the odd flake with that cloud this morning, but we're done with most of the snow. Once we get into the later part of the afternoon, we'll see some breaks in the cloud. Again, -9, maybe -8 for a high. That'll be about it for warming for today. For tomorrow, -16 to start, -8 for a high. A little bit of cloud in the morning, then lots of sun into the afternoon. And then -16 to start again on Sunday, -4 for a high with a little bit more cloud. I'll have your 5- and 10-day forecast coming up a little bit later on, Kent.
Thanks, Corey. Well, local schools are getting into the spirit of giving. Look at them go. Kids from 6 schools across the city have been collecting non-perishable food items for the food bank as part of the city's annual Stuff a Bus campaign. They formed a chain yesterday, transporting bags of their donations onto the bus.
It's Christmas coming up, and that's like a time to be grateful. We hope that the food we provide is enough to feed kids and families that don't have food and need extra support.
It's very important to care for others around us.
ETS buses will be at 16 Edmonton area Save On Foods locations tomorrow collecting donations. The food will then eventually be given to families in need. And the Christmas Bureau breakfast fundraiser is back after a 5-year break. This is part of an 85-year tradition of giving families in need a nutritious, festive holiday meal. The Christmas Bureau says the type of people seeking their services is changing. The rising cost of living is causing more people and families to struggle with grocery bills. The Bureau says it has already received thousands of applications this year.
1 in 7 Edmontonians are living in poverty right now. That's over 130,000 people. Unfortunately, we just don't have the capacity and the resources to help everybody. We wish that we could, and that's why we rely so much on the community to help us out.
Christmas hampers will be delivered on December 20th. Okay, let's take a look at your drive, and we're expecting things to be tough out there. The first major snowfall of the season, and the roads are snow-covered and icy. Plenty of reports of that throughout the city on those major commuter routes. So the Henday on the north side from Ray Gibbons Drive to Orem Road reporting snow-covered. Highway 28, Edmonton to Namao. Highway 15 from the city to Fort Saskatchewan. 16 to Elk Island, and Highway 21 from New Sarepta to Fort Saskatchewan, all reporting snow-covered and icy conditions. So as you make your way through the city and outside the city today, just give yourself extra time and drive with caution because it's going to be a trickier drive than we're used to, at least for the next little while. We're still ahead. The death toll climbs and hundreds are still unaccounted for in the Hong Kong apartment complex fire. Plus, the United States says it's permanently pausing migration from, quote, third world countries.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices. Now, this is an interesting one. Average gas cost down a cent of a liter, $1.14.2. Highest gas price, $1.25.9. But look at this, the lowest gas price, 99.9 cents a liter. Wow, where can you find that? Well, there's the Costco on 149th Street, but also a gas station I've never heard of. City Gas Station on Victoria Trail on the northeast side of the city. Some cheap gas to be found out there.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
First responders in Hong Kong have uncovered dozens more bodies during an intensive search of a high-rise that went up in flames earlier this week. The death toll is now up to 128. 200 people remain unaccounted for. The director of the fire services says first responders found that some fire alarms in the complex did not sound when tested. The anti-corruption agency says it is investigating possible corruption relating to a renovation project at this complex. One of the 2 U.S. National Guard members who were shot in Washington, D.C. has died.
She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department.
Sarah Beckstrom was 20 years old. She enlisted in 2023 and volunteered to work over American Thanksgiving. Beckstrom and 24-year-old Andrew Wolf were shot while on patrol near the White House. Officials say the suspect, Ramanullah Lakanwal, once worked with the CIA in Afghanistan. The motive behind the attack remains unclear. Authorities plan to charge Lakanwal with murder as well as an assault with intent to kill. After that attack, Donald Trump vowed to permanently pause migration from, quote, third world countries. The United States will also start to re-examine some green cards. They will now look at green cards issued to people from 19 countries, including Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Sudan, Cuba, and Venezuela. The administration calls these countries of concern. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said that it will now take into consideration negative country-specific factors when vetting immigrants. In a Thanksgiving post on Truth Social, the president said most foreign-born U.S. residents are, quote, on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels. 5 NDP leadership candidates met in Montreal last night for what was supposed to be a French language debate, but not much French was actually spoken.
Cost of living right now for Canadians is skyrocketing.
But we're getting squeezed while billionaires are cashing in.
Unless we start fixing our relationship with the first past the post electoral system, none of this will come to pass.
We need
Documentarian Avi Lewis and Edmonton MP Heather McPherson spoke the most French. Union leader Rob Ashton, social worker Tennille Johnston, and organic farmer Tony McQuail admitted they need to brush up on their French. The plan was to make this debate 60% French language, but most of the conversation happened in English. One of the 5 themes of the debate was how to rebuild support and win in Quebec. The NDP will choose its next leader March 29th during the party's annual convention in Winnipeg. The Quebec government has now tabled new legislation that would introduce broad new restrictions on religious practices.
Because we think that when the state is neutral, Quebecers are free.
Bill 9 includes a ban on full face coverings for students and staff in public education settings and a gradual end of public funding for private religious schools that select students based on their faith. There will also be a ban on prayer in public institutions, including colleges and universities, as well as in public outdoor spaces unless the city signs off on it. It also prohibits public institutions like hospitals from only offering halal or kosher foods. This bill is an expansion of the 2019 secularism law, preventing judges, police officers, teachers, and public servants from wearing religious symbols at work. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
6:23, you're taking a live look through the River Valley Skycam right now. It looks wintry out there. Still a lot of cloud over the city. And with that, we are seeing some flurries just west of the city right now. Spruce Grove, Stony Plain. So those areas could be a little bit more tricky, although the roads here in the city are not great this morning. You will need extra time. Maybe if you want to delay your travels a little bit, if you can do that, maybe a good idea till after rush hour. Minus 10 right now. Temperatures throughout much of central and southern areas fairly consistent. Minus 10, minus 12. Jasper, minus 8. Peace River, the cold spot, though, at minus 20. Here's your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. About minus 11 for the kids heading out. Minus 10 at lunch. Minus 9 when they head home. At that point, we should start to see some sun breakthrough as we get into the afternoon, but fairly cloudy until then. As we take a look at the satellite radar, cloudy to the north. A lot of snow for Calgary. Calgary and areas south are under a snowfall warning. For us, most of the snow is west of the city. Spruce Grove, Stony Plain. It looks like we are seeing a little bit maybe on the north side of the city once again towards St. Albert, but most of it is out of our area. And as I said, as we get into the later part of the afternoon, we'll start to see some breaks in the cloud. As we take a look at our forecast, there we go, about minus 10. Having a few issues with the system. Minus 10, our high for today, minus 9. I'll get that fixed up, but as we go throughout the day, fairly cloudy, wind light, but we're done with the heaviest amounts of snow.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. We go to Baltimore, where the Ravens were hosting the Bengals. Joe Burrow back from his injury, battling with turf toe. He doesn't miss a beat, tosses it up to Tanner Hudson, who makes the great one-handed grab for the touchdown. Burrow had 261 yards and 2 touchdowns in the upset over Baltimore. And that is your must-see moment from Thursday. And today on TSN, more football. Black Friday football. The Bears taking on the Eagles. Pregame at 1:30 Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
It is Friday morning, and we like to reflect on the week that was and pick out some of our favorite stories of the week. And for me, surprised myself with this one, but the effort to usher in winter, bolstered by the snow that fell yesterday and the stuff that ski hills have been making. Yes. Down in Snow Valley, they're hard at work making the snow, grooming the hill. Marmot Basin and Jasper opened up this week. And yes, we've enjoyed a warm fall, but you can't forget, this is a winter city, everybody. There's a whole economy to this season around here, and places like these ones and others rely on the cold weather and people getting outside to enjoy them or do other things. So it's easy to grumble about the temperatures and the snow, but we choose to live here, and it's a great place to live, and there are plenty of things to enjoy as winter arrives. Support those markets, the light displays, the businesses based on the season, and for me, I love summer. I love summer.
You are a summer.
I love it.
Summer person.
But the part of the reason I love summer so much is because we have winter. Because the yin and the yang of it all.
Yeah.
If it was just summer all the time, you wouldn't enjoy it as much.
No, that'd be awful.
It would be terrible. So get out there, enjoy the snow, shovel your neighbor's walk today, maybe if you can. Do something to help out. But this is the city we live in, and so much of it is in winter. You got to embrace it.
Yeah, because like you said, well, what else can you do? Really. And it is wonderful. It looks pretty out there this morning.
It does look so nice.
It does. It's like a little bit of a winter wonderland. My time is story time. Came back to schools. This week featured a familiar face from the Green and Gold.
Did I write it? No, I'm an athlete, not an author.
Edmonton Elks defensive back coach Aaron Grimes read "Not Without My Teammates" to the kids at St. Maria Goretti. The special appearance is part of Read-In Week and an annual event across Edmonton schools promoting literacy. Well, it was canceled in October. That's when it usually happens. But it was nice to see some faces get out there and read to the kids. The kids absolutely love it. And yeah, it's their chance also to meet some really cool people.
And celebrate the love of learning and reading. It's a fantastic week. Lost it because of the teacher strike earlier in the year, but it's back, which is lovely. And shout out to the schools. We got a lot in the newscast about kids helping out in the city and giving back, which is very fun. So thumbs up to all those kids out there who've been doing such a thing. That is good stuff. It's time for us to take a break. Kim is out and about this morning. We'll check in with her a little bit later. We'll take this break and be right back.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Just after 6:30 here on a frosty Friday. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. Maybe you're just gearing up to get outside, do a little shoveling. Not a lot of heavy shoveling out there. I used the broom earlier today, Corey, but certainly got to deal with this snow.
Yeah, that's right. It's not heavy snow. A lot of it is very light and fluffy, which is kind of nice. It's going to be a little bit tricky outside. We've now got the cold, so that cold brought that snow in, and we go throughout the weekend, it's going to be a bit on the cold, chilly side. But next week, we have another warm-up coming our way. I have those details, your 5-day forecast, in about 6 minutes, Ken.
Thanks, Corey. Well, Alberta's Premier Danielle Smith says she's optimistic and cautious about the new deal with the federal government on a pipeline to the BC coast. Among other things inside this deal, the federal government has agreed to not implement the oil and gas emissions cap and offer exemptions to the oil tanker ban. Alberta, on their side, saying yes to carbon capture initiatives, industrial carbon pricing in the oil and electricity sectors, lowering methane emissions, and committing to net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. The provincial and federal leaders both saying that Canada and Alberta will work together, convincing BC and First Nations to agree to this project and find a private partner to pay for it. Now, political analysts say this pipeline deal is a big win for the Premier heading into the UCP annual general meeting today in Edmonton. CTV's Nicole Lampa is at the Expo Centre where that AGM is taking place. So, Nicole, while Smith is celebrating, many have opinions on what's going on. What's happening in the Prime Minister's camp?
Kent, perhaps the biggest reaction is the resignation of former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault, who Premier Smith often called a threat to Alberta's energy sector. Carney made Guilbeault the Heritage Minister after the spring election. Guilbeault is accusing the Prime Minister of dismantling part of the climate action plan he worked on as Environment Minister. Carney writing, while we may have differing views at times on how exactly we make essential progress, I am glad Stephen will continue to offer his important perspectives as an MP in our Liberal caucus. Meanwhile, BC Premier David Eby insists the pipeline deal is not happening.
No proponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support. We need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire.
Eby calls the deal a drain on federal resources, a distraction from real projects, and says it's missing critical consultation. Coastal First Nations say the pipeline would destroy their way of life.
We'll do everything in our power to protect our coast from a real threat of an oil spill. There is no technology that can clean up an oil spill. We will never consent to allowing oil tankers in our coastal waters.
Meanwhile, the reaction in northern BC is mixed, with the mayor of Terrace saying that people there want to see economic growth but is worried BC will be taking on all the risk while Alberta will get all the reward. In Calgary, the Prime Minister received a standing ovation in front of a Calgary crowd and saying that he is pleased to see that this support, he's getting the support from industry leaders. We'll have more on this part of the story in half an hour. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Alberta's Child and Youth Advocate is reporting that 60 young people died and 9 were seriously injured while in or aging out of government care in 1 year's time. A new report finding that more than half of the deaths were accidental, caused by drugs and alcohol, and nearly half of the deaths and injuries happened when the person was 18 or older. The advocate says young people are expected to access services on their own once they enter adulthood, but may not have the ability to do so. She is recommending the Transition to Adulthood Program policy manual be made publicly available. The Minister of Child and Family Services says it has been shared with stakeholders.
Over the last year, we've been really focusing on the programs and supports for children at younger ages. That's come out loud and clear when I've been traveling around the province, when I've been chatting with children directly that are within the child intervention system. They need those supports at younger ages, and that's what we've been able to do within the ministry.
The advocate also found nearly all the youth studied experienced trauma, grief, and loss. When the United States slapped tariffs on Canadian goods, many people were encouraged to buy local. Stores across Edmonton are hoping to capitalize on that movement during the holiday season. Bradley Hewitt's store sells goods from local businesses. And he says so far this year, sales are down. Despite a decrease in overall sales, though, employees are noticing a strong push to buy here at home.
Constantly, almost every day, we have new customers coming in, people who've never been in the mall, who are trying to shop local and support local more than any other year I've seen.
A recent survey by the Retail Council of Canada says more than 3/4 of Canadians plan to shop close to home this season. Something to think about, certainly, as it is Black Friday today and you're bombarded with all these things in your inbox and in your social media feeds, deals, 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 sales, sales, sales. So, something to think about where you're spending your money.
Yeah, maybe leave some of those bigger retailers behind a little bit and go for some of those local ones. It's, yeah. Weather-wise, it snowed yesterday. We got a decent amount, anywhere from about 4 to 7 centimeters. Big, fluffy snow. It's not too heavy when you are shoveling that off this morning, which is nice. And as we look at our almanac for today, we're not expecting a big jump in our temperature. Our high for today is -9. Average seasonal high -3. We could dip down to -11. That is average seasonal low. Right now, that's where we're sitting in Stony Plain and Elk Island. -10 at the airport, -10 at the Blatchford station. Wind is light, so not adding too much more of a chill, which is good. Most temperatures within the city are coming in at -10. We have -9 in Beverly. So we might lose another degree, but as far as our warm-up, -9, maybe -8. That'll be about it for today. As we go throughout the day, lots of cloud, slight chance of flurries with that cloud this morning. But then as we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see some breaks in that cloud. Tomorrow, -16 to start. Cold tomorrow morning, -8 for a high. Lots of sun as we go throughout Saturday. -16 again Sunday morning, and then -4 Monday. We could just jump above the freezing mark. Could see some flurries and wet flurries, possible rain-snow mix on that day. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then -2 on Tuesday. Your 10-day forecast is coming up in 15 minutes.
All right, thank you, Corey. Let's focus in again on the roads. It is tough out there. Even before we get to the high volume times, the conditions have deteriorated because of the snow. Snow-covered and icy highways reported on the Henday, east from Highway 16 to Highway 14, Highway 2 from 41st Avenue west of Millet, Highway 2A from Leduc to Ponoka, Highway 14 from the Henday east to Tonefield, and Highway 21 from New Sarepta to Fort Saskatchewan. If you're out on the roads today, it's best to plan to give yourself extra time, extra space to get where you're going. First big snowfall of the season, bound to cause some issues on the road. We'll keep you closely updated on your commute throughout your morning. All right, it is time for Corey versus Corey. You get it, you know. There's only one morning meteorologist in this city on TV. No one else comes close. So without competition, all we can do is put Corey up against himself. We take his forecast from Monday, see if he was right within, a degree or two. So here's what he said.
A little bit more cloud for Wednesday, -4. Thursday, -7. Friday, -9. It looks like snow for Friday. And then after that, it looks like Saturday will be the coldest day out of the 10-day forecast.
So that's what Corey said it would be like on Thursday. Was he correct? On the money this week, Corey. Bang on with your prediction. So temperature-wise, got it right. But a lot of people talking about this snow. That sort of seemed to sneak up on everybody.
Yeah, it looked like at the beginning of the week we would see it Friday, so today, and then it just kind of that chance kind of tapered out a bit, and then as we went throughout the week, it looked like Thursday, late Thursday, but it looked like it was going to be a lot lighter, and then, yeah, so that snow was a little bit tricky as we went throughout the week. Yeah, but the temperature, that one was a little bit easier to play with.
No, it's because you're a scientist and you're a pro, Corey. You know what's going on. You got to tune in to know what's happening around your city, and this guy gets it right again.
Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta. Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Here's your daily dose of AI, Corey. Researchers in Australia are testing an AI-powered robot to reseed the Great Barrier Reef. Interesting. So the robots carry so-called baby coral, and they have to be dropped at precise locations to maximize potential for growth. So AI figures out where that is. Using this system, the robots are usually able to place the coral within a meter of where they need to go.
So being used for good.
I'm for that.
Yeah.
For that. Keep it in that space. great. Taking over the world, not so great.
Exactly. Oh, this is one pool that has gone to the dogs. Check out these little Dachshund hounds swimming in their own private pool. The pups are all decked out in little life jackets that go around their necks. They're having fun while rehabbing at this hydrotherapy center exclusively for dogs in the UK. I guess a lot of Dachshund hounds need rehab.
I suppose so. I thought this was like a spa of some sort.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks that way. How very nice. How very nice indeed. Well, let's keep this moving with a baby giraffe galloping his way into people's hearts. This is Rahisi, born at the Memphis Zoo earlier this month, weighing 127 pounds. Whoa. The zoo is showing off the newest little addition as he learns to operate those lanky legs. Zoo officials say he's doing great, already out exploring and zooming around the pen. All of that effort, apparently pretty exhausting.
Oh, look at that face. Oh, my gosh.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
You need those naps when you're that little, you know?
Aren't some animals amazing?
Yes.
That they can come out and, like, stand up pretty much right after they're born.
Immediately so.
Yeah. Human babies are quite useless. Like
it's so true. Yeah.
It takes a long time
You
for
gotta
us
just
to
protect them for years before they can get out in that big, harsh world.
Totally.
Giraffes and AI robots, they're just right in there immediately.
Totally.
It's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back.
Well, for over 50 years, Wynn House has been a beacon of safety and support, providing a refuge for women, non-binary individuals, and children seeking escape from dangerous situations. Leslie Allen, Chief Executive Officer, is here with more about the organization and how we can support it. And we need support all year round, but here we are heading into the holiday season, so really maybe more on top of mind. Maybe if people aren't familiar with Wynn House, what specific services does Wynn House provide?
Yeah, so we provide shelter. Of course, you know, that's our primary actions is to provide shelter, food, you know, all of the basic life necessities, but we are so much more than just a door.
Yeah.
You know, we provide counseling, nursing services, equine therapy, legal navigation, you know, so we have so many different programs that we offer once the woman comes into shelter. The biggest one also being is housing navigation.
Right. Is the need high right now?
I hate to say this, but yes, it is. Yeah. You know, we have consistently been turning women away from the shelters. And, you know, we recognize that we need more capacity. And Wynn House is doing a project to be looking at that. So, yes, the need is high, and it even gets higher around Christmas.
Right. And unfortunately, you need funding.
Yes.
It's not provided. Tell us about your holiday campaign.
Yeah. So, we do get government funding, but about 60% of our budget is covered through the generosity of our community.
Yes.
So, yes, our holiday campaign is Be the Light We Need. And that is just to talk about the hidden side of domestic violence. You go into a neighborhood and you look at houses and you think everything is just wonderful behind the doors. But in so many cases, it isn't. And, you know, women have to be incredibly courageous to leave an abuser. And it has to be really thought out. So what we're asking this year is for people to be the light for the women and children who are fleeing violence, and to give children a very safe and happy Christmas.
And how are some of the ways that people can help do that?
Yeah, so certainly through donations. You can go to our website and go to our holiday campaign, which is up there, and feel free to donate.
And does it have to be through that, or are there other ways people can also support Wynn House?
Yeah, there are a couple of ways. So we are in a partnership with Goodwill. So if you're beginning to, let's say, downsize some of your closets around Christmas time, would please feel free to take them to Goodwill, say that they're for Win House, and then they weigh the clothes, and then they give us gift certificates, and we give those to the women so that they can go and shop. So that's one way. The second way is with Santa's Anonymous. So instead of bringing toys to us, if you bring them to them, then they are able to make packages for us and give them at all holidays or birthdays. So that's our partnership there.
Okay.
Yeah, but our biggest need is to keep the programs going. It's those donations. It's really important.
Well, hopefully that hits a heartstring with people and the viewers, and maybe can help out. And those other suggestions are fantastic as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Leslie.
Thank you so much.
For more information about WinHouse, visit winhouse.org. And still ahead, pressing a pause on pain, how a new form of therapy is helping people heal.
It is that signal that persists in the body, alerting them that there is pain, but actually it is just the signal malfunctioning.
Programming brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right, or it's free. School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
6:57, you're taking a live look at downtown Edmonton, a winter wonderland right now. We got the snow last night and throughout the early morning hours, really changing the scenery, and it is cold as well. Let's take a look at some of these temperatures. We're at -10 right now here in the city, -11 Cold Lake and Slave Lake. Peace River, the cold spot, -22. Other than that, most temperatures fairly consistent throughout the province. Here is your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. But -11 for the kids heading out, -10 at lunch, -9, maybe -8 for a high for today. That'll be about it. And as we get into the late afternoon, we'll start to see the cloud break. Tomorrow, -16 to start, -8 for a high, and then -16 to start on Sunday, -4 for a high. So warmer on Sunday. We'll see a lot of sun for Saturday, a little bit more cloud Sunday, and we could see some mixed precipitation on Monday with a high of 1. -2 on Tuesday. The rest of your 10-day forecast as we go throughout the mid part of next week, temperatures fairly mild, and then after that, it looks like we drop off for next weekend once again. It's November 28th, and we have these milestones to share. Happiest of 11th birthdays to Jada. Love from Mom, Dad, Joey, and Josh.
And a happy 3rd birthday to Owen. Love Mom, Dad, and baby sister Olivia. Stay tuned. We've got more milestones coming up in the next hour.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
It is time for your morning mystery. It's named after the Roman god of war.
Okay.
Okay. Second smallest planet in the solar system. Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Home to the highest mountain in our solar system, a volcano called Olympus Mons. Olympus Mons.
We can track that? Cool.
Guess so.
That is
I'm not good with my planets. Mars or... I'm going Mars or Mercury.
No, you wrote down Mars.
Mars or Mercury.
Mars.
It's the Red Planet Day. Today commemorates the launch of the Mariner 4 spacecraft on November 28th, 1964. Wow.
Cool.
The Mariner 4 spacecraft. That's a long time ago, and celebrates the planet Mars.
Have a bar to celebrate today.
There you go.
Not a bad bar.
It's a decent bar.
It's a decent bar.
Yeah. Well, treat yourself today. It's Friday, and it's not nice outside, so yeah, a little treat. The news you need to start your day begins right now.
Here on Friday, November 28th.
Today is a great day for the people of Alberta and for all of Canada.
Thank you very much.
As Alberta celebrates a deal with the federal government to work together on a pipeline to the West Coast, others cry foul, and one Liberal cabinet minister quits. Amid an early season losing skid, frustration at Oilers practice after what appears to be an injury setback.
It's Christmas coming up, and that's like a time to be grateful.
And students from local schools teaming up to help the less fortunate as the season of giving begins in our city. Your morning starts right now. Just after 7 o'clock, welcome to your Friday morning, Edmonton. Let's begin on the roads. The first serious snowfall of the season has swept over Edmonton. The flakes started to fly early yesterday evening, causing traffic to slow down as many people tried to get home. Still a few flakes falling out there this morning, mostly tapered off. There will be a lot of shovels and blowers out, though, as people clear their way to work today. We are closely watching your drive. We'll alert you to any problems out there. Good idea, though, to leave early. Give yourself some time and space on the roads as the rush hour begins after 7 o'clock, Corey. So let's bring in the forecast here for a look at what's going on out there. What can we expect from the snow and the cold going forward? Well, mostly now just dealing with the cold. We're pretty much done with the snow, at least here in the city. It's areas to the west and northwest where we are seeing a little bit. Let's take a look at the satellite radar. A lot of cloud to the north. There is the snow, most of it to the west and to the northwest of the city, kind of just brushing by. And then southern areas of the province, even heavier snow falling there. So as we take a closer look to home right now, looks like Spruce Grove getting a little bit of a break. St. Albert seeing some light snow, but most of it is falling outside of the city. We are seeing some flurries, but very light and very scattered here in the city. So we're dealing with the tail end of it now. As we go throughout the rest of the morning, we'll be dealing with the cloud and the cold that's going to kind of hang around throughout the weekend. More details on that part of your forecast coming up, Kent. All right, thank you, Corey. Well, after months of negotiation and speculation, Danielle Smith and Prime Minister Mark Carney have signed a memorandum of understanding for a pipeline to the BC coast. The federal government has agreed not to implement the oil and gas emissions cap and other exemption and offer exemptions to the oil tanker ban. Alberta, for their part, saying yes to carbon capture initiatives, industrial carbon pricing in the oil and electricity sectors, lowering methane emissions, and committing to net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. The provincial and federal leaders say that Canada and Alberta will be working together to convince British Columbia and First Nations to agree to the project and find a private partner to pay for it.
Completing the pipeline will also require a private sector proponent. And if you know one in the room, please, you can come see us. You can come see us afterwards.
Today is a great day for the people of Alberta and for all of Canada.
The Memorandum of Understanding states that Alberta must include Indigenous groups and collaborate with British Columbia. BC's Premier David Eby says the project has no private proponent and needs support of coastal First Nations. Now, reaction to this deal has been widespread, including celebrations in Calgary, a mood likely to carry into the UCP's annual general meeting here in Edmonton today. CTV's Nicole Lamp is at the Expo Centre where that AGM is taking place. So, Nicole, Mark Carney giving a speech right after signing that deal. What was the reaction there?
Kent, Carney appeared to be taken aback by the enthusiasm when he was given a standing ovation.
Thank you very much.
The elimination of the emissions cap, changes to the greenwashing legislation, and the commitment to expand our access to global markets can be the catalyst to unlock Canada's full economic potential, to invite new investment into major projects, and to enable our country to take our rightful place as the world's next energy superpower.
The Calgary Chamber of Commerce and the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers called the announcement transformative and a major relationship builder with Ottawa. A political scientist we spoke with says Premier Smith has been working on a pipeline deal like this for a while now, pointing to her previous rhetoric towards Ottawa and the newly strained relationship with the United States.
she's been able to convince Carney of this. But I think she was also pushing against a relatively open door against Mark Carney because of the threat posed by Donald Trump, the realization that Canada needed to diversify its markets away from the United States. And this fits with this.
Meanwhile, in Ottawa, former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault has resigned over this memorandum of agreement, which is also being criticized by a number of environmental groups. We'll have more on this part of the story in half an hour. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. Well, Boyle Street and MacEwan University are working together to help Edmonton's homeless. For a fourth year, university students and staff are stuffing backpacks full of everyday essentials. MacEwan has been collecting items like toques, gloves, socks, and snacks for people who need them. Anything that can help during the cold winter months.
And then, of course, there's these cards that the students write, these notes that they write, words of encouragement to our community members so that they can remember that we're all in this together. There are people in the broader community that want to support them.
Edmonton's Kinsman Club donating money so the group could purchase backpacks for all the items collected. Well, the Oilers are in Seattle tomorrow night trying to get out of an early season funk, but the frustration continues. Even at practice, things boiling over yesterday after forward Kasperi Kapanen appeared to have a setback. Kapanen sending sticks flying after leaving practice early. He appeared to be hurt and struggled to get up off the ice before taking a short skate and then heading down the tunnel toward the team's dressing room. Kapanen has played 6 games and has been sidelined with an injury for most of the season. In obvious pain there on the ice yesterday. Now, head coach Chris Knobloch did not provide an update to Kapanen's status after practice, but he did say that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been cleared to play. He's missed significant time with injury as well. He could be in the lineup tomorrow night against Seattle. All right, let's bring in Corey for a further look at the forecast. Dealing with that snow, certainly the big story for this morning and the commute. But beyond that, that cold sticking around at least for a couple days.
Yeah, and we have a couple really cold mornings coming our way for Saturday and Sunday, about -16 to start off those mornings. Let's take a look at our almanac for today. Our high for today is -9, average seasonal high -3. Could dip down to -11. That is average seasonal low. Let's take a look at where we are right now. -11. So our temperature has dropped a degree in the last hour. Wind fairly light, so not adding much more of a chill. At the airport, the temperature there right now sitting at -10, so just a degree warmer. Wind also light. Fairly cloudy right now. We are seeing some flurries west and northwest of the city. With this cloud cover, there's a slight chance that we might see a few lingering flurries this morning. And then as we get into the later part of the afternoon, we'll see some breaks in the cloud. Again, -9. Maybe -8 for a high for today. That'll be about it for warming. And then colder tomorrow morning, -16. -8 for a high for Saturday. We'll see lots of sun as we get into the afternoon. -16 to start again on Sunday, -4 for a high. And then a little bit warmer for the beginning of next week. I will have those details, your 5- and 10-day forecast, still to come your way. Kent.
Thanks, Corey. Well, local schools are getting into the spirit of giving. Kids from 6 schools across the city have been collecting non-perishable food items for Edmonton's Food Bank as part of the city's annual Stuff a Bus campaign. They formed a chain yesterday, transporting bags of their donations into a bus.
It's Christmas coming up, and that's like a time to be grateful. We hope that the food we provide is enough to feed kids and families that don't have food and need extra support. It's very important to care for others around us.
ETS buses will be at 16 Edmonton area Save on Food locations tomorrow collecting donations. That food will then be passed on to families in need. And the Christmas Bureau Breakfast Fundraiser is back after a 5-year break. This is part of an 85-year tradition of giving families in need a nutritious and festive holiday meal. The Christmas Bureau says the types of people seeking their services is changing. The rising cost of living is causing more people and families to struggle with their grocery bills. The Bureau says it's already received thousands of applications so far this year.
1 in 7 Edmontonians are living in poverty right now. That's over 130,000 people. Unfortunately, we just don't have the capacity and the resources to help everybody. We wish that we could, and that's why we rely so much on the community to help us out.
Christmas hampers will be delivered December 20th. It is now approaching 11 minutes past 7 o'clock. We're going to take a look at the cameras out on the road. So not much passing through Gateway Boulevard and 34th Avenue right now, but you can see that tracks have been worn out there, and you can at least see the pavement, which is good news. There is ice out there, though, so slippery sections indeed. And we have some crashes to tell you about southbound on the Henday Northwest just before the Yellowhead. We also have a crash Sherwood Park Freeway westbound between 34th and 50th Street. A lot of green on the map so far early in the rush hour commute, which is a good thing, but a reminder, the snow has fallen. It is thick in some spots. There is ice out there as well, so give yourself time and space to get where you need to go this morning. We'll keep a close eye on your drive as we continue through your morning. But still ahead, deadly flooding hitting more than half a dozen countries in Southeast Asia, plus a peace deal for Ukraine is in the works. We're talking to a professor who examines Ukraine and Russia relations on whether there's hope for lasting peace.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices coming down a cent of a litre. The average gas cost now $1.14.2. Highest gas price, that hasn't changed. It's $1.26. But look at this. I don't remember the last time we've seen this. It has been a long time. The lowest gas price just below $1, 99.9 cents. You can find that at the Costco on 149th Street, as well as on the east side of the city on Victoria Trail, City Gas Station.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
The United States is pitching a peace plan for Ukraine. The first draft, quite favorable to Russia, and Europe is now scrambling to come up with an agreement that could bring peace in the region a little closer together. Joining us today is David Marples. He's a professor at the University of Alberta who has done extensive research on the history and the politics of both Ukraine and Russia. David, thanks so much for joining us this morning. What's the state of this discussion right now? Where are peace talks at?
Right now, the initial peace talks have been modified a little bit in Geneva yesterday, but we don't know exactly in which way they were modified. The original one was unacceptable to Ukraine, mainly, I think, because it specified that Ukraine must give up areas in the eastern Donetsk region that is not occupied by Russia, to the tune of about 250,000 population and large fortified cities like Slavyansk and Kramatorsk and Druskivka that, Ukraine simply doesn't want to give up. Also, it limits the size of the Ukrainian army to about 600,000 troops, and it also really doesn't give Ukraine any guarantees of security. So from Ukraine's perspective, this was a Russian peace deal manufactured in Moscow rather than one initiated by the United States.
So let's get into that. A lot of favorable things to Russia, but it's the United States who's sort of touting this deal. Do we know much about how this happened? How is it so favorable to Russia, given that it's the United States that's trying to broker this?
Well, I think the Russian diplomat behind this, Kirill Dmitriev, is a very skilled diplomat. He's actually Ukrainian by birth, and his parents still live in Kiev, ironically enough. So he's well aware of the situation in Ukraine. He also speaks good English, so he was chosen to communicate with the Americans. Steve Witkoff, the American diplomat, by contrast, has never been to Ukraine, doesn't know the language, doesn't know the culture or history, but he's very close to Russia, and he's been that way for some time. He considers Vladimir Putin to be a friend, which I would find disturbing, actually, in a U.S. diplomat who's supposed to be objective in these sort of discussions. So the two of them really came up with this peace plan. The Europeans have also, particularly the British, the Germans, and the French, have come up with their own version, which is a little better, as Zelensky himself has said, but at the same time is far from clear on what Ukraine should give up and how these territorial issues should be decided in the future.
So how likely is it that Ukraine is going to have to give up territory if it seeks peace?
Very likely. I don't think Russia would even consider signing anything unless it does. I mean, actually, I doubt Russia will sign this one either, because Russia claims to be doing quite well. But in fact, it would be very difficult to get the Russians out of Crimea, which they've occupied since March 2014. The other areas in the east also might be difficult to remove Russia from where they are now. So I think that the key aspects are the remaining parts of the Donbass, which is Donetsk and Luhansk regions, but also Kherson and Zaporizhia regions in the south of Ukraine, which are very important. Ukraine occupies the major cities, but east of the river Dnipro, the main river dividing Ukraine from east to west, are Russian troops. And any peace deal has to consider that. If Ukraine could get these provinces back, it would be on a much more secure footing than otherwise. So I think that is the crucial thing, and Ukrainians are not willing to give up these territories.
Okay, so peace deals continue to be talked about, but inside there's a lot going on. David, we certainly appreciate your insight into how this is all going to unfold, and we'll keep a close eye on this as things evolve.
Okay, you're very welcome.
It's time for us to take a look at the forecast.
Thank you, Kent. And you're taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed right, or it's free -11. We're done with the heaviest of snow. Might be seeing a few lingering flurries here and there, but the snow, we're done with that. Now we just have to deal with it. As we take a look at our temperature right now, -11. Temperatures throughout much of the province, most hanging just below, just above -10. With exception, we've got Peace River at -21. That is the cold start in the province this morning. A lot of cloud to the north. There are some areas where it is breaking. It is a little bit colder to where we're seeing some of the breaks in that cloud. As we get closer to home, still some snow and flurries, mostly west of the city, and then a lot of snow in the south. Calgary and areas south are under snowfall warning. Looks like the north side of the city might be seeing some flakes fly, but the heaviest amounts and more of it is falling just west of the city, Onaway, Stony Plain, and areas south of there. As we take a look at our futurecast for today, as we get into the afternoon, we'll see some breaks in the clouds, so a little bit of sun coming through just before it sets. As far as temperature for today, -9, maybe -8. That'll be about it for warming. Wind light, and again, we might see a few more flakes fly as we go throughout the morning, but then after that, it's cloudy, and then some breaks in the cloud into the afternoon. Celebrate Giving Tuesday with us December 2nd at Trail Appliances South from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Bring a new unwrapped toy or cash donation for Toy Mountain and enter for your chance to win a Whirlpool stackable washer and dryer valued at $3,000. Kent?
Okay, Corey, thank you. Well, new this morning, a fresh outlook on Canada's economy from Statistics Canada. Gross domestic product, or GDP, rising 0.6% in the third quarter. It had fallen by 0.5% in the second quarter. Stats Canada says the increases in the latest quarter was driven by strengthening trade balances as imports dropped and exports edged up. As for the monthly GDP, it rose for the second time in 3 months, offsetting a decline back in August. One of the 2 U.S. National Guard members shot in Washington, D.C. has died.
She was savagely attacked. She's dead. Not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department.
Sarah Beckstrom was 20 years old. She enlisted in 2023, volunteering to work over American Thanksgiving. Beckstrom and 24-year-old Andrew Wolf were shot while on patrol near the White House. Officials say the suspect, Ramanullah Lakanwal, once worked with the CIA in Afghanistan. The motive behind the attacks remains unclear. Authorities plan to charge Lakanwal with murder as well as assault with intent to kill. Now, after the attack, Donald Trump vowed to permanently pause migration from, quote, third world countries. The United States will also re-examine some green cards. They will now look at green cards issued to people from 19 countries, including Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Sudan, Cuba, and Venezuela. The administration calls these countries of concern. The United States Citizenship and Immigration Services says it will now look into consideration of negative country-specific factors when vetting immigrants. First responders in Hong Kong have uncovered dozens more bodies during an intensive search of a high-rise fire that happened earlier this week with 7 of 8 buildings engulfed in flames. The death toll is up to 128. 200 people remain unaccounted for. The director of the fire services says first responders found that some fire alarms in the complex did not sound when tested. Anti-corruption agency says it's investigating possible corruption relating to a renovation project at the complex. At least 174 people are dead and dozens of people are missing after devastating floods in Indonesia. Heavy rain has fallen across the island of Sumatra, and the rescue workers are racing to find survivors. As a whole, Southeast Asia is facing some of the worst flooding the region has seen in years, affecting millions of people across Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. Sri Lanka is also struggling with severe weather. At least 56 people have died and 21 people are missing after heavy rain there this week. Well, 5 NDP leadership candidates here in Canada met in Montreal last night for what was supposed to be a French language debate, but much of it was in English.
Cost of living right now for Canadians is skyrocketing.
But we're getting squeezed while billionaires are cashing in.
Unless we start fixing our relationship with the first past the post electoral system, none of this will come to pass.
Documentarian Avi Lewis and Edmonton MP Heather McPherson spoke the most French. Union leader Rob Ashton, social worker Tennille Johnson, and organic farmer Tony McQuail admitting they need to brush up on their French. One of the 5 themes of this debate was how to rebuild support and win in Quebec. The NDP will choose the next leader March 29th during the party's annual convention in Winnipeg. What's estimated 1 in 5 Canadians suffers from chronic pain that lasts consistently for more than 3 months. The cost can reach upward of $40 billion. CTV's Pauline Chan looks at a newer therapy that works without drugs.
It was a shard of glass from a sliding door that changed Pauline Couture's life forever.
A triangle of glass just went in under my right knee and severed all the tendons in my right leg.
That was decades ago, and over the years she's tried painkillers, had 2 full knee replacements, massage, acupuncture, and Chinese herbal medications helped, but it was getting expensive to keep going so frequently.
A low-intensity laser therapy kept me out of a wheelchair for 8 years, but then the thing was deteriorating more. What I was doing was I was just gritting my teeth, and I was crushing teeth roots, clenching so badly all day.
But last September, she got into a pain clinic at UHN and learned about pain reprocessing therapy, or PRT.
They don't have any structural problem that is causing the pain anymore. Whatever caused the pain has healed. And now it is that signal that persists in the body, alerting them that there is pain, but actually it is just the signal malfunctioning.
After just 2 sessions, Pauline decided to try walking home, but by the second light, she felt the pain coming on.
You take slow, deep breath, and you put your hand on your belly and your hand on your chest.
She made it home by herself that evening.
I can walk 12,000 steps in one day now. I couldn't even have imagined that 6 months ago.
PRT is usually given for 8 sessions, but because it began in Canada in 2021, Dr. Andrea Furlan says it was overshadowed by COVID.
Chronic care patients in Ontario cost 51% more every year because they go to the doctor more, they need more imaging, they use more drugs.
Dr. Furlan says PRT benefits patients as well as the healthcare system with a reduction of lost work hours, drug, and other therapy costs. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Conservationists recently found out there are thousands more endangered African forest elephants than they thought. This realization was made through advances in the field of poop analysis. Scientists have tried counting droppings in the past, but say it's hard to tell what came from who, and which often led to double counting. They've now started extracting DNA samples, which means a much more accurate count. Wow. Well, still ahead, a new report says throwing money at healthcare in Canada is not going to fix problems. How it suggests the country address current challenges. Coming up after the break.
I'm Nicole Lampa at the Expo Center, where UCP members will be gathering today for their annual general meeting. The mood likely celebratory after yesterday's pipeline deal. More on this after the break.
beautiful city. It's 7:30 here on a Friday. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. And this city is looking so pretty today, Corey, with all that snow that's fallen. It's light, it's fluffy, it's the first of the season. Something to think about as you shovel it out of the way.
Yeah.
And you grind your way through it on the way to work today. It's a little tricky out there with all this snow.
Yeah, that's right. The road's not great this morning. So if you are heading out, give yourself some extra time, extra space, and give some others a little bit of grace as well. It's, yeah, not the best road conditions out there. As far as the weather, pretty much done with the snow. We've just got the cold. We'll have that and your 5-day forecast. Those details coming up in 6 minutes, Kent.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she's optimistic and cautious about this new deal with the federal government regarding a pipeline to the BC coast. Among the things inside the deal, the federal government has agreed not to implement the oil and gas emissions cap and has offered exemptions from the oil tanker ban. Alberta, on their side, saying yes to carbon capture initiatives, industrial carbon pricing in the oil and electricity sectors, and lowering methane emissions, as well as committing to net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. The provincial and federal leaders say that Canada and Alberta will be working together, convincing BC and First Nations to agree to this project and finding private partners to pay for it. Now, from praise to discontent, this pipeline agreement has drawn a large reaction from across the country. Closer to home, the mood is likely to remain celebratory as the UCP members gather for their annual general meeting today in our city. CTV's Nicole Lamp is at the Expo Center where the AGM is taking place. So, Nicole, while Danielle Smith and her camp are celebrating, what's happening with the Prime Minister and his camp?
Kent, former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault has resigned from his current post. Carney made him the Heritage Minister after the spring election. Guilbeault is accusing Mark Carney of dismantling part of the climate action plan he worked on as Environment Minister. Carney writing, while we may have differing views at times on how exactly we make essential progress, I'm glad Stephen will continue to offer his important perspectives as an MP in our Liberal caucus. Meanwhile, BC Premier David Eby insists the pipeline deal is not happening.
No proponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support. We need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire.
Eby calls the deal a drain on federal resources, a distraction from real projects, and says it's missing critical consultation. Coastal First Nations say the pipeline could destroy their way of life. Other BC leaders and environmental groups are also weighing in.
People definitely want to see growth. We want to see economic activity. We want to see the communities flourish. The one thing about a pipe is, and this project right now that has me a bit concerned is I see BC taking all the risk and Alberta getting all the reward. So how do we line those up?
This MOU is not a grand bargain. This is a wholesale abandoning of climate action and economic vision in Canada.
Meanwhile, here in Alberta, business leaders and energy groups are celebrating, calling this a victory for our energy sector. We'll hear more from them in half an hour. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Alberta is holding its deficit forecast steady in the second quarter due to lower oil prices and global uncertainty.
We're projecting deficits in the future as well. So I think we're going to have to continue to prioritize healthcare, education.
The province projects a $6.4 billion deficit, relatively unchanged from last quarter, but still up more than $1 billion from the budget of 2025. Total expenses are up slightly, while total revenue remains significantly down. The biggest hit comes from non-renewable resource revenue, down more than a third from the recent highs. But economists say there is reason for optimism.
We see producers being much more resilient to price shocks than they have in the past. They've really done a lot to contain their costs. They're focused more on sustaining capital.
Economists are also optimistic after the MOU signed with Ottawa yesterday. To manage costs, the province is drawing from its contingency fund $711 million for disaster relief and another $959 million to cover cost pressures not offset by revenue. Alberta's child and youth advocate is reporting that 60 young people died and 9 were seriously injured while in or aging out of government care in 1 year's time. A new report found more than half of the deaths were accidental, caused by drugs and alcohol. Nearly half of the deaths and injuries happened when the person was 18 years old or older. The advocate says young people are expected to access services on their own once they enter adulthood, but many do not have the ability to do so. She's recommending the Transition to Adulthood Program policy manual be made publicly available. The Minister of Children and Family Services says it's been shared with stakeholders.
Over the last year, we've been really focusing on the programs and supports for children at younger ages. That's come out loud and clear when I've been traveling around the province, when I've been chatting with children directly that are within the child intervention system. They need those supports at younger ages, and that's what we've been able to do within the ministry.
The advocate also found nearly all the youth studied experienced trauma, grief, and loss. When the United States slapped tariffs on Canadian goods, many people were encouraged to buy local, and stores across Edmonton are hoping to capitalize on that movement during the holiday season. Bradley Hewitt has a store that sells goods from local businesses, and he says so far this year sales are down. Despite a decrease in overall sales, though, employees are noticing a strong push to buy here at home.
Constantly, almost every day, we have new customers coming in, people who've never been in the mall, who are trying to shop local and support local more than any other year I've seen.
A recent survey from the Retail Council of Canada says more than 3/4 of Canadians plan to shop close to home this season. Well, thousands of Oilers fans spent hours inside West Edmonton Mall for a few fleeting moments with their favorite players. Those waiting for an autograph from Connor McDavid spent half a day in line. Wyatt McNeil and his family waited for more than 12 hours to be first in line to see Connor McDavid. Lines for McDavid and Leon Draisaitl wound throughout West Edmonton Mall. Most fans had been waiting from 6 a.m., which is when the mall opened. The McNeils got in line at 5:30, a perk of spending a night at the Fantasyland Hotel.
I got an autograph from McDavid, and I said, do you have any advice for me for my hockey team? I'm the captain of my hockey team. And he said, just be yourself.
He doesn't ask for much, so I felt I had to do it. So yeah, it was a long day, but it was worth it.
They say the memories are something they certainly will not soon forget.
7:38, you're taking a live look through the River Valley Skycam, seeing some flurries in and around the city. Fairly light. The heaviest of snow that we've seen has fallen already throughout last night and the early morning hours. Right now, heavier, a little bit heavier towards Spruce Grove, Stony Plain areas, north and south of those areas. We are seeing some scattered flurries, though, falling over the city right now. Temperature-wise, -11 in Stony Plain, -10 at the airport. Elk Island, the Blast First Station, -11. Winds light, so at least we're not seeing it blow around and add any more chill to the temperature. Temperatures within the city coming in at -10 and -11. For today, our warm-up, -9, maybe -8. That'll be about it for a warm-up. As we go throughout the morning, we might see a few more scattered flurries, and then fairly cloudy, with the cloud breaking late afternoon and into the early evening. Tomorrow, lots of sun. It's cold to start. -16 tomorrow morning and then -8 for a high. -16 again Sunday morning and then -4 for a high. And then warmer for Monday. We could be seeing a bit of a rain-snow mix, possibly some flurries and wet flurries. 1 for a high and then -2 for Tuesday. I have your 10-day forecast coming up in 15 minutes. The Art of Banksy Without Limits is in Edmonton for a limited time after its incredible worldwide success. Explore 200 of the artist's works, such as his original art, prints, photos, and sculptures. Enter for a chance to win a pair of VIP passes at ctvedmonton.ca. Kent.
Thank you, Corey. Well, inflation is driving Canada's health spending to nearly $400 billion, but a new report suggests innovation is needed to address current challenges. With more, here's CTV's Scott Hurst.
Rising costs are a reality. Inflationary pressures, along with a growing and aging population, are stretching healthcare budgets, ultimately making it more expensive to just maintain current levels of care. A new report from the Canadian Institute for Health Information estimates that in 2025, healthcare spending in Canada will grow nearly 2 percentage points faster than the economy, reaching a projected $399 billion. That's a yearly increase of just over 4%. But even though health spending continues to rise, researchers suggest more spending alone will not solve the current challenges facing patients and healthcare providers.
The bottom line, we're seeing growth in health spending, but a large part of that is going towards the cost of existing care, and it leaves little room for significant investments and change.
Hospitals, physicians, and drugs remain the major areas of spending. Combined, just those three categories are expected to make up more than 50% of total health spending in Canada in 2025. As the report points out, in the current environment, simply increasing spending is becoming much more difficult. Investments, it argues, should be made where they can have the most direct impact on patients, such as improving primary care and providing more care in the community. So the solution, according to the report, is not just more funding, it's innovating how healthcare is delivered. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Time to check in on your commute as we approach 8 o'clock here on a frosty Friday morning, and it is slow in many places. White Mud Drive and 170th Street, one of them, as we watch people make their entry into the drive this morning. Now let's take a look at the big map here, and it looks a little bit like a Christmas tree. A lot of red out there, some green, but a lot of red. 50th Street northbound before the Henday, there is a crash. There's also one southbound on the Henday on the northwest just before the Yellowhead, and a crash Sherwood Park Freeway westbound before 34th and 50th Street. We can see things very slow. Many major commuter routes, including the West Henday, the highway coming into the city, the Yellowhead, White Mud, Southwest Henday, Southeast Henday, the QE2, and Gateway Boulevard. A lot of issues out there. Most of it is snow and ice related. Let's just focus in on that crash map there, shall we? It is tough out there. Give yourself a lot of time and space to get where you need to go today. Well, coming up, hundreds of Edmonton teens get hands-on experience, possible career in the trades. Plus, we look at our favorite stories of the week, including celebrating the love of reading inside Edmonton classrooms and snow, both real and artificial, as Winter City arrival happens this week. Plus, how Edmonton students of all ages are getting into the spirit of giving. It's time for us to take a break. Stay with us. We've got a lot on the way.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
About 200 Edmonton high school students spent the day at NAIT exploring a potential career in the trades. The Jill of all trades event, inviting female youth to participate in hands-on workshops, gaining insight into jobs like being an electrician, iron worker, and instrumentation technician. Among the participants, a group from Yellowknife.
I think that like programs like this, you know, Skill Sisters back home, they're really helpful because they give kind of girls a safe space to like take part in these and to really like solidify the passion, and they can like just proudly say, I want to do this.
Most in the skilled trades workforce are men. NAIT has a program where women interested in these programs can receive support and financial assistance to pursue a career. Well, it is a winter wonderland out there, which means hopefully you're getting into the holiday spirit of giving, and we need your help building an annual toy mountain to make sure no kid wakes up on Christmas morning without a gift to open under the tree. Kim is on location today with one of the biggest supporters. Without them, we could not make Toy Mountain happen. How's it going, Kim? As always, dressing the part.
Of course, you have to get into the holiday season, especially because of the snow outside. Yeah, we're Independent Jewelers this morning. This is their 3rd year with Toy Mountain. We're so happy to have you back, Heather.
And I am so happy to be back with Independent Jewelers, Jerry Gilroy. We are just honored to be part of the Toy Mountain again this year, 3rd year in a row.
Yeah. What makes this time of year so special to you guys?
You know what? Jerry, of course, is very giving, and it's so important for us to give back to the community when we can, and we are very selective with who we choose to partner with. And when we started partnering with Toy Mountain, Big Brother, Big Sister, we realized for the kids it's just so important to be able to give a gift and have a child be able to open a gift on that special morning, right? And so giving back to the community, this is one way that Jerry feels is so important.
Which is why he actually started like a little mini Toy Mountain right here. What a guy. I can just imagine him with a shopping cart. This, that. I love it. So how can people help out? How can they donate with Independent?
If they can come on down, they can drop off a gift, which is what we would love. Our staff have already also given some gifts too. We also do top up at the till, so we'll take that extra cash and we'll go out and buy some more gifts for you if it's convenient. Yeah. And our online stores, through the promotion month until December 19th, we give 5% of all of our online sales towards the Toy Mountain as well.
Amazing. So there is an incredible giveaway. Hold on, let me just get our special guest here for you guys. Introduce us to who this is, Heather.
This is our Swarovski nutcracker. He's our large nutcracker. Now, this is a family heirloom. If you win this is a $1,400 crystal from Swarovski that we are giving away. If you come in and drop off a toy, you can get an entry form to win.
Where do you even put this, Heather?
I would just put it right beside all my Christmas decorations, just to like the icing on the cake.
Yeah. This is going nowhere near my toddler, okay? It's going in a display case with spotlights, and like an alarm goes off if his little fingers touch the glass. Heather, thank you so much. Awesome. We're going to come back here to Independent Jewelers to talk about gift ideas if you're thinking of being a little fancy and blingy. And as always, remember to donate a new unwrapped toy to any Sentinel Storage or Trail Appliances location by December 19th. Also, you can make a cash donation presented by AMJ Campbell and Independent Jewelers at ctvedmonton.ca. Bling, bling, bling. He's so pretty.
We'll still ahead, athletes and all kinds of other Edmontonians inside classrooms celebrating reading.
Did I write it? No, I'm an athlete, not an author.
Good one, that story and much more coming up in Best of the Week. Stay with us. Best of the Week time, and they switched the order. Corey, you're up first.
They did. Story time is back at local schools. One this week featured a familiar face from the Green and Gold.
Did I write it? No, I'm an athlete, not an author.
Edmonton Elks defensive back coach Aaron Grimes read "Not Without My Teammates" to the kids at St. Maria Goretti. The special appearance is part of Read-In Week, an annual event across Edmonton schools promoting literacy. Reading Week is usually the first week of October, but was postponed due to the teachers' strike. So not as many people going out to read this year, but a few. And so that is great that he did that. Kids just love this too. It's
we've been invited in the classrooms many times, and it is so fun. Yeah. And sharing the love of reading, which is important, is great. And shout out to Aaron Grimes. Aaron Grimes is so great in the community, representing the team in many different ways. And he's come on our show with like holiday hacks before, which is very fun stuff. So shout out to Aaron. He never stops getting out in the community. It's been tough on the field for the Elks for a few years, but they don't stop getting out and supporting different initiatives. So
yeah, shows a community leader.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, Best of the Week is ushering in winter. Surprised myself with this, but I'm excited about the snow that has come, both the real stuff yesterday and the artificial stuff that they've been hard at work making. This is Snow Valley. They've been hard at work earlier in the week, grooming the hill, getting it ready for the season. How lucky are we that this is right in the city and other ski clubs inside the city. And then out at Jasper, Marmot Basin opened this week. We're a winter city and a winter area. There's economies built in based on winter, and we enjoyed the warm fall, but it's time to get on with this. A lot of people love to get out there. It's easy to grumble about the temperatures going south, but we're built for this. We choose to live here. It's a wonderful place to be, so we embrace this season so that we can also enjoy summer. Summer is better because winter is the way that it is around here, so we need both. We need both to enjoy the seasons. That's part of the beauty of living here, is the different seasons, and it looks great out there with the snow freshly fallen. It's also tricky out there.
Very tricky.
So be aware, stay tuned for more on the traffic report, because it is tough. The winter arrives, so do the snowy conditions on the roads. So you need to be aware out there. And a little help on the text line. I've been trying to convince Corey to buy loafers for so long. Just like these ones here. If you're a loafer supporter, get in the text line and convince Corey.
Kent has the style. I don't know if I
so
can do
nice.
that.
You just slip them on. They're fashionable. They're functional. If you're a loafer supporter, get on the text line. Corey needs to hear from you. We'll be right back.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca. School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
7:58. Look at this winter wonderland. The snow blanketing everything in the city right now. We did get a okay amount as we went throughout last night in the early morning hours, anywhere from about 2 to 5 centimeters. It's big, fluffy snow. It's at least on the light side to get off your sidewalks and driveways. So bonus in that regard, although it is causing a few problems on the roads. Minus 11 temperature-wise. We're going to be a bit colder as we go throughout the weekend. Grand Prairie, though, minus 18. Peace River, minus 19. There are some colder spots to start off in the province this morning. Here's your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. About minus 11 for the kids heading out, minus 10 at lunch, and then minus 9, maybe minus 8 for a high. That'll be about it today. And as we get into the later part of the afternoon, early evening, we'll start to see a few breaks in the cloud. Tomorrow, minus 16 to start, a cold morning, minus 8 for a high, lots of sun. Sunday, minus 16 to start, minus 4 for a high, so seasonal on Sunday into the afternoon at least. And then Monday, we could see some flurries, wet flurries, a high of 1, minus 2 on Tuesday, so mild as we start off next week. Towards the mid and later part of next week, though, we do start to see temperatures drop off once again.
Milestones, brought to you by Coolman's Flower Shop. Colorful, fresh designs for any occasion.
We're wishing Dave a happy 75th birthday. Have a wonderful day. Love from your wife, kids, and grandkids.
Sharon's turning 80. Happy birthday. Love from your entire family.
And a happy birthday to this mom and Baba. Love from your family.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
A quick morning mystery named after the Roman god of war. It is the second smallest planet in the solar system. Home to the highest mountain in our solar system, a volcano called Olympus Mons. Did you get it? It is Mars. Today is Red Planet Day, which commemorates the launch of the Mariner 4 spacecraft on November 28, 1964, and celebrates the planet Mars. The news you need to start your day begins right now.
Here on Friday, November 28th.
Today is a great day for the people of Alberta and for all of Canada.
Thank you very much.
As Alberta celebrates a deal with the federal government to work together on a pipeline to the west coast, others cry foul, and one Liberal cabinet minister quits. Amid an early season losing skid, frustration at Oilers practice after what appears to be an injury setback.
It's Christmas coming up, and that's like a time to be grateful.
And students from several local schools team up to help the less fortunate as the season of giving begins in our city. Your morning starts right now. Just after 8 o'clock, welcome to your Friday morning. The first serious snowfall of the season has swept over the city, impacting the roads and other things. So let's bring our meteorologist back in, Corey, as we examine the snowfall. For the most part around the city, it's done with, right?
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more west out towards Stony Plain and then to the northwest on away St. Albert, but we're seeing a few more flurries. It looks like it's starting to push a little bit to the east as it rotates a bit. So we are starting to see a little bit more over the city once again. It looked like we had been saw it come to an end, but a few more flurries. So adding to what we saw late last night into the early morning hours. But then Sherwood Park East, we are done with it. So a few more falling over the city as we take a wider look as you get down towards Crossfield, Calgary. Those areas are under a snowfall warning. So having to deal with the roads in our area, if you're heading down towards Calgary, you're going to have to deal with the snow down there. So many areas of the province dealing with the snow. But for us, as we go throughout the rest of the day, we'll start to see things improve. It's just going to be the cold that's left behind. I'll have those details coming up in a short bit. Kent.
Okay, we're certainly monitoring the roads as it's been a tricky one out there as well today. So after months of negotiation and speculation, Danielle Smith and the Prime Minister have now signed a memorandum of understanding for a pipeline to the BC coast.
Completing the pipeline will also require a private sector proponent. And if you know one in the room, please, you can come see us. You can come see us afterwards.
Today is a great day for the people of Alberta and for all of Canada.
So Ottawa has agreed not to implement an oil and gas emissions cap, as well as offer exemptions from the oil tanker ban, among other things. And Alberta has committed to net zero greenhouse gas emissions goal by 2050. This memorandum states that Alberta has to include Indigenous groups and collaborate with British Columbia. Now, widespread reaction to this deal continues, including celebrations in Calgary, a mood likely to carry into the UCP's annual general meeting today in Edmonton. CTV's Nicole Lamp is at the Expo Centre where the AGM is happening today. So, Nicole, Mark Carney speaking to the Calgary Chamber of Commerce right after that signing. What kind of reaction did he get when he got to the stage?
Kent, the crowd packed with energy and business leaders gave him a standing ovation.
Thank you very much.
The elimination of the emissions cap, changes to the greenwashing legislation, and the commitment to expand our access to global markets can be the catalyst to unlock Canada's full economic potential, to invite new investment into major projects, and to enable our country to take our rightful place as the world's next energy superpower.
The Calgary Chamber of Commerce and the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers called the announcement transformative and a major relationship builder with Ottawa. A political scientist we spoke with says Premier Smith has been working on a pipeline deal like this for a while now, saying this bodes well for her as she heads into the UCP annual general meeting.
This is a huge win for Danielle Smith. This is something that she has been working on for years and has used a variety of tools to get a new pipeline built, whether that was the use of the Sovereignty Act, whether that was lawsuits, whether that was rhetoric, whether it was her Alberta Next panel, whether it was playing footsies with separatists.
And when Smith spoke yesterday, she said that she hopes that the separatist sentiment among her base will die down after this deal. It's something that potentially could be discussed at this UCP AGM this weekend. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. The Oilers are in Seattle tomorrow night trying to get out of an early season funk, but frustration continues. Even at practice, things boiling over yesterday after forward Kasperi Kapanen appeared to have a setback. Kapanen sending sticks flying after leaving the ice early. Moments before that, he appeared to be hurt, struggling to get up before taking a short skate and then heading down the tunnel to the team's dressing room. Kapanen has played just 6 games so far this season. He has mostly been sidelined with injury. Now, following practice, head coach Chris Knobloch did not provide an update on Kapanen's status, but he did say that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who has also missed significant time because of injury, has been cleared to play, and he could be in the lineup tomorrow in Seattle. All right, let's bring Corey back in for another look at the forecast as that snow continues to swirl around, kind of snuck up on most people yesterday and again this morning. But once we get through that, it's still going to be cold out there.
Yeah, that's right. We've got the cold that's moved in with that snow, and tomorrow morning and Sunday morning, could be seeing temperatures around -16 to start off. So get ready for that. Right now, as we look at our almanac, our high for today is -9, average diesel high -3. We do have some days in the extended forecast where we get back to and above that, so we're not done with the warm air yet. As we take a look at currents, we've got -11 in Stony Plain, the airport, and the Blatchford Station. Elk Island -12. Winds fairly light, so not adding too much more of a chill. Within the city, temperatures coming in at -10 and -11. Our high for today is -9, maybe -8. That'll be about it for warming. Late afternoon or early evening, we'll start to see a few breaks in the cloud, but we could still see a few more lingering flurries this morning. As we take a look at your forecast for tomorrow, -16 to start, -8 for a high. Fairly sunny as we go throughout Saturday. Sunday, -16 to start again, and then -4 for a high. Monday, Tuesday, pretty mild. Monday, we could be just above the freezing mark, and there's a chance we could see some flurries and wet flurries, and then a touch cooler for Tuesday with a high of -2. I'll take a look at your 10-day forecast coming up a little bit later on. Celebrate Giving Tuesday with us December 2nd at Trail Appliances South from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Bring a new unwrapped toy or cash donation for Toy Mountain and enter for your chance to win a Whirlpool stackable washer and dryer valued at $3,000. Okay.
Thank you, Corey. And as we build that mountain of toys, we need your help. This is all in support of BGC Big Brothers Big Sisters, Edmonton and area. Kim is at Independent Jewelers this morning. Oh, looking so good, Kim.
I know, I look shiny today. Can't guess how much money is like on my fingers right now.
Oh, it's got to be thousands, like 20?
Dude, $180,000 for these two rings.
My. You're shopping in a different section.
Yeah, I know, right? They're decking me out here at Independent Jewelers. They always take good care of us, and they've been a huge supporter of Toy Mountain, of course, in support of BGC, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Edmonton and area. We have our good friend Heather with us this morning. Hi. So if you have somebody on that extra special somebody on your list, and you want to get them something that really shines, you have some gift ideas for us?
We sure do. We actually have something for everybody. If you kind of look over here, we have a great collection of chains. So silver chains are really popular right now. Silver, gold chains, bracelets, tennis necklaces in both lab-created diamonds and natural diamonds, men's rings. Big popular is these dancing diamonds. So you'll see how the diamond just shimmers.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, especially under these bright lights.
Yeah,
ding, ding, ding.
Hoop earrings, again, lab or natural diamonds that are in and out earrings. We have tennis bracelets, multiple stone rings that come in all different gemstones, engagement rings, men's rings, and then of course every watch and every price point that we carry as well for both men and ladies, and our huge Black Friday sale.
Right.
We really
Today,
here we have to talk about this. We have our Black Friday studs, 1 carat total weight are only $4.99. We have a pendant that's a 1 carat total weight for only $6.99, and then we have a solitaire that's a 1 carat center stone, and it's only $9.99.
Incredible. Okay,
Incredible
so
deals.
Black Friday sales for today. Who's this guy side-eyeing me on the table over here? He wants to buy me a drink.
The Mr. Nutcracker?
Yes.
Nutcracker. He's handsome.
Very handsome. Worth $1,400. Yes.
That's right.
Is this like a family heirloom?
You know what? If you win this, would definitely be a beautiful family heirloom. You can win this just by bringing in a toy for Toy Mountain.
Yes.
Or any coming in and just filling out an entry form, or any purchase. You come in and you can enter in to win our Nutcracker.
Perfect. Heather, thank you so much for all the amazing gift ideas. Remember, Toy Mountain goes until December 19th. Drop off a new unwrapped toy to any Sentinel Storage location, Trail Appliances location. And also, if you just don't have time, we know that you have a busy schedule this upcoming season. You can also make a cash donation presented by Independent Jewelers and AMJ Campbell at ctvedmonton.ca.
That's right.
Thank you, Kim. Let's take a look at your drive. You are watching Stony Plain Road and 170th Street from the traffic cams. Things going okay there, but you need to be a little slower today. And in some places, you have to be a lot slower. Look at that map. A lot of red out there. There are collisions, 90th Avenue and 50th Street. There's a crash Victoria Trail and 153rd Avenue. 50th Street northbound before the Henday, and Sherwood Park Freeway westbound between 34th and 50th Street. But you can see on the map just how slow it is out there. This is both because of volume and crashes, but also people driving to the conditions. You need to go a little slower, give a little extra space to make sure people get where you need to go safely this morning. All right, it is time for Corey versus Corey. You get it, you know. There's only one morning meteorologist in this city on TV. No one else comes close. So without competition, all we can do is put Corey up against himself. We take his forecast from Monday, see if he was right within, you know, a degree or two. So here's what he said.
A little bit more cloud for Wednesday, -4. Thursday, -7. Friday, -9. It looks like snow for Friday. And then after that, it looks like Saturday will be the coldest day out of the 10-day forecast.
So that's what Corey said it would be like on Thursday. Was he correct? On the money this week, Corey. Bang on with your prediction. So temperature-wise, got it right. But a lot of people talking about this snow. That sort of seemed to sneak up on everybody.
Yeah, it looked like at the beginning of the week we would see it Friday, so today, and then it just kind of that chance kind of tapered out a bit, and then as we went throughout the week, it looked like Thursday, late Thursday, but it looked like it was going to be a lot lighter, and then, yeah, so that snow was a little bit tricky as we went throughout the week. Yeah, but the temperature, that one was a little bit easier to play with.
No, it's because you're a scientist and you're a pro, Corey. You know what's going on. You got to tune in to know what's happening around your city, and this guy gets it right again.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices. Coming down a cent of a litre. The average gas cost looking good at $1.14.2. Highest gas prices are $1.25.9. Also looking good, there's a few stations now at 99.9 cents a litre. There's the Costco on 149th Street, as well as the City Gas Station on Victoria Trail.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Well, it's Black Friday, marking the start of a busy shopping season. Lifestyle expert Daniel Reyes-Coca is here to share some of his favorite gift ideas that give back, save you money, and take holiday entertaining to the next level. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, why don't we start off if we have an animal lover on our list? What do you suggest?
Absolutely. Well, if you're looking for a meaningful gift for the animal lovers in your life, adopt a species for your World Wildlife Fund Canada and help protect wildlife that you care deeply about. Each wildlife adoption kit comes with a beautiful, true-to-life plush animal, a poster with species facts and conservation work that it supports, and a personalized adoption certificate, all packaged in a beautiful little reusable tote bag, which I really love. So it's a perfect and meaningful gift for the holiday season. They're designed with help from species experts to reflect unique features of their real-life counterparts. And best of all, every adoption kit that you order starting today on Black Friday helps to protect habitats and help wildlife thrive. With over 45 species to choose from, you can head to wwf.ca/shop.
Very cool. That is a fantastic idea. Now, Black Friday, lots of sales happening. Maybe you're heading out to the mall, but we want to stretch our dollar when we're shopping today.
Yes.
How do we do that?
Well, Black Friday is a great time to save, right? Rakuten.ca actually just did a recent survey, and it shows that 45% of people are planning on spending $500 on gifts. 1 in 5 are planning on spending $1,000 this season. So you can stack retailer deals with elevated cashback offers, putting even more money back into your pockets. Earn 15% cash back from top retailers, including Simons, Lego Canada, Dyson, Under Armour, Ray-Ban, Expedia, and many, many more. With over 750 of your unique favorite stores on Rakuten, it's a no-brainer. Your you're already making purchases from brands like Sephora and Simon, so why not get cash back? There's also an addition to Chrome that you can add on that automatically will show you when there's savings, and you can earn that cash back starting today on Black Friday deals.
Very cool. Now, supporting Canadian companies is important as well. Which is a standout for you?
Absolutely. So Transformer Table was a great idea that turned into one of Canada's fastest growing companies and a global leader in smart saving furniture. I've got you covered. So say hello to the Transformer Table, which is one right in front of me. The Transformer Table is unique and it actually keeps you up to date with holiday chaos. Pieces expand and contract easily, and you can store bench leaves directly in the bench or table leaves in a side hutch or coffee table. Keeping everything organized and out of sight is just the way that we like it this holiday season. Every piece blends smart innovation with gorgeous craftsmanship, which is perfect for condos, for the holidays, or for that neighbor that always drops in and wants to stop by. So you can just add it on in and help support. You can take a look at all of their Black Friday deals that are at transformertable.com starting today.
Awesome, Danny. Those are all fantastic ideas. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy Black Friday.
Happy Black Friday. For more lifestyle ideas, you can follow Daniel on Instagram at DoTheDaniel. 8:22, you're taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. Traffic down to Saskatchewan Drive moving a little bit slower this morning. Not great throughout the city. The roads are really not good after the snow that we did see, really causing things to back up and slow down. So if you are heading out this morning, just be careful on the roads. It'll probably take a while for that to get cleared off. -11 right now here in the city. Most temperatures in the province right around just below above -10. With exception, we've got Peace River and Grand Prairie a bit colder, -18 and -16. In the north, we're seeing some breaks in the cloud towards Grand Prairie and Peace River. Fort McMurray, it looks like some flurries just south of there. We are seeing the flurries in and around the Edmonton area start to come to an end. They're tapering out. Right now, we're seeing a little bit on the west and the south side of the city. As far as the sky conditions for today, we will see the cloud break late afternoon and into the early evening. So we might see a little bit of sun breakthrough later on, but until then, it's going to be fairly cloudy. Again, we could see a few more flurries this morning. Wind light. Our high for today is -9, maybe -8. The Art of Banksy Without Limits is in Edmonton for a limited time after its incredible worldwide success. Explore 200 of the artist's works, such as his original art, prints, photos, and sculptures. Enter for a chance to win a pair of VIP passes at ctvedmonton.ca.
Hi everyone, Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. Forward, we go to Baltimore, where the Ravens were hosting the Bengals. Joe Burrow back from his injury, battling with turf toe. He doesn't miss a beat, tosses it up to Tanner Hudson, who makes the great one-handed grab for the touchdown. Burrow had 261 yards and 2 touchdowns in the upset over Baltimore. And that is your must-see moment from Thursday. And today on TSN, more football. Black Friday football. The Bears taking on the Eagles. Pregame at 1:30 Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Researchers in Australia are testing an AI-powered robot to reseed the Great Barrier Reef. Yeah, the robots carry so-called baby coral. They have to be dropped at precise locations to maximize potential for growth. So the AI figures out where that is. Using this system, the robots are usually able to place the coral within a meter of where they need to go.
Very cool. Huh. Here's a pool that has gone to the dogs. Pretty cute here.
So graceful.
Yeah, check out these little Dachshunds swimming in their own private pool. The pups are all supported by little life jackets that fit around their necks. They're having fun while rehabbing at the same time in this hydrotherapy center exclusively for dogs in the UK. And it looks like
A lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries for these little Cashdown's.
I like this though because usually we show at the end of the outdoor pool season all the dogs jumping in the pool, and it's just chaos.
Chaos.
And this is so graceful, so dignified,
peaceful, just
so European.
Yeah, totally.
Well, this baby giraffe is galloping his way into people's hearts. This is Rahisi, born at the Memphis Zoo earlier this month, weighing 127 pounds. Woo. The zoo showing off the little addition as he learns to operate those lanky legs. Zoo officials, pretty good.
Look at that face.
it's all, you get tuckered out. I was just born minutes ago. I'm already walking. Give me a break. I need to take a nap.
So cute.
Yes. As you said earlier, the animal kingdom is just incredible.
These big animals can drop a baby from how many feet in the air? It gets up and walks
full
around.
Sprint.
Yeah, and then we have a baby, and it's just a mess. You got to wait a long time before some independence comes along. But,
you listen to us little babies out there. It's time to be productive members of society. No more coddling.
Totally. We're back after the break.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid.
Good morning. It is just about 8:30 here on your Friday morning. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. As we get moving here, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she's optimistic and cautious about a new deal signed with the federal government on a pipeline to the BC coast. Among other things, the feds have agreed to not implement the oil and gas emissions cap and offer exemptions from the oil tanker ban. Alberta has said yes to carbon capture initiatives, industrial carbon pricing in oil and electricity sectors, lowering methane emissions, and committing to net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. The provincial and federal leaders say Canada and Alberta will be working together, convincing BC and First Nations to agree to this project and find a private partner to pay for it. Now, political analysts are calling this pipeline deal a victory for Premier Danielle Smith as she heads into the UCP's annual general meeting today in Edmonton. CTV's Nicole Lampa is at the Expo Centre where this AGM is taking place. So, Nicole, while Smith and the UCP are likely going to celebrate there today, talks are happening in BC between the Premier and a federal cabinet minister. What's happening out there?
Kent, Federal Energy Minister Tim Hodgson and Premier David Eby are meeting today. Now, Hodgson telling the Canadian press yesterday that it's still premature to conclude that there will be a carve-out to the tanker ban, while Eby remains against the pipeline deal.
No proponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support. We need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire.
Eby calls the deal a drain on federal resources, a distraction from real projects, and says it's missing critical consultation. Coastal First Nations say the pipeline could destroy their way of life.
We'll do everything in our power to protect our coast from a real threat of an oil spill. There is no technology that can clean up an oil spill. We will never consent to allowing oil tankers in our coastal waters.
Meanwhile, here in Edmonton, Danielle Smith will likely remain, in her victory mode. She will be providing a speech at 1:30 here at the UCP AGM. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Alberta is holding its deficit forecast steady in the second quarter due to lower oil prices and global uncertainty.
We're projecting deficits in the future as well. So I think we're going to have to continue to prioritize healthcare, education.
The province projects a $6.4 billion deficit, relatively unchanged from last quarter, but still up more than $1 billion from the budget of 2025. Total expenses are up slightly, while total revenue remains significantly down. The biggest hit coming from non-renewable resource revenue, down more than a third from recent highs. But economists say there is reason for optimism.
We see producers being much more resilient to price shocks than they have in the past. They've really done a lot to contain their costs. They're focused more on sustaining capital.
Economists are also optimistic after the MOU signed with Ottawa. To manage costs, the province is drawing from its contingency fund $711 million for disaster relief and another $959 million to cover cost pressures not offset by revenue. Alberta's Child and Youth Advocate is reporting that 60 young people died and 9 were seriously injured while in or aging out of government care in 1 year's time. A new report finding that more than half of the deaths were accidental, caused by drugs and alcohol, and nearly half of the deaths and injuries happened when the person was 18 or older. The Advocate says young people are expected to access services on their own once they enter adulthood, but may not have the ability to do so. She's recommending the Transition to Adulthood Program policy manual be made publicly available. The Minister of Children and Family Services says it has been shared with stakeholders.
Over the last year, we've been really focusing on the programs and supports for children at younger ages. That's come out loud and clear when I've been traveling around the province, when I've been chatting with children directly that are within the child intervention system. They need those supports at younger ages, and that's what we've been able to do within the ministry.
The Advocate also found nearly all youth studied experienced trauma, grief, and loss. When the United States slapped tariffs on Canadian goods, many people were encouraged to buy at home. Stores across Edmonton are hoping to capitalize on that movement during the holiday season. Bradley Hewitt's store sells goods from Edmonton businesses. He says so far, sales are down. Despite the decrease, though, employees are noticing a strong push to buy local.
Constantly, almost every day, we have new customers coming in, people who've never been in the mall, who are trying to shop local and support local more than any other year I've seen.
A recent survey from the Retail Council of Canada says more than 3/4 of Canadians plan to shop close to home this season. Boyle Street and MacEwan University students are working together to help Edmonton's homeless. For a 4th year, university students and staff stuffing backpacks full of everyday essentials for the homeless. MacEwan has been collecting items like toques, gloves, socks, and snacks for those who need them. Anything that can help during the cold winter months. Edmonton's Kinsman Club donating money so the group could purchase backpacks for all the items collected.
And then, of course, there's these cards that the students write, these notes that they write, words of encouragement to our community members so that they can remember that we're all in this together. There are people in the broader community that want to support them.
And a reminder, as the temperatures turn, that there are opportunities to help those in need. Well, thousands of Oilers fans spent hours inside West Edmonton Mall for a few fleeting moments with their favorite players. Those waiting for an autograph from Connor McDavid spent half a day in line. Wyatt McNeil and his family waited more than 12 hours to be first in line to see Captain Connor McDavid. Lines for McDavid and Leon Draisaitl wound throughout West Edmonton Mall. Most fans started their time in line around 6 in the morning when the mall opened up. The McNeils got there at 5:30, a perk of spending the night at Fantasyland Hotel.
I got an autograph from McDavid, and I said, do you have any advice for me for my hockey team? I'm the captain of my hockey team. And he said, just be yourself.
He doesn't ask for much, so I felt I had to do it. So yeah, it was a long day, but it was worth it.
The McNeil family says they will not soon forget the experience.
8:37, you're taking a live look at downtown Edmonton. Still seeing a few flakes fly. It's pretty light, though. The majority of the heavy snow has already fallen. We're just going to continue to see things taper off. And then the cloud will be remaining. And then as we get into the late afternoon, we'll start to see some breaks in that cloud. -11 in Stony Plain, the airport, and at the Blatchford Station. Elk Island -12. Winds on the lighter side. Temperatures within the city, all locations that are reporting are coming in at -11. For today, our high is -9, possibly -8. That'll be about it for warming for today. A lot of cloud to start off. As I said, late afternoon, early evening, we'll start to see a few breaks in the cloud. Tomorrow morning, colder. -16 to start off tomorrow morning. Wind light, -8 for high, and lots of sun into Saturday afternoon. -16 Sunday morning, and then -4 for a high, a little bit more cloud. Monday, Tuesday, bit on the mild side. Monday, we could be just above the freezing mark. There's a chance that we could see some flurries, wet flurries, and then a slight chance of flurries on Tuesday at -2. After that, temperatures kind of climb a little bit and then fall back down. I have those details. Your 10-day forecast coming up in about 15 minutes, Kent.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, the snow is certainly impacting the commute this morning. It all started early in the evening yesterday, causing things to slow down for many on their way home. And it's been more of the same this morning as people shovel their way out, get the blowers going to clear the way. It's a good idea to give yourself time and space out there. Let's check in. Live look now at some of the roads. West, this is White Mud Drive at Gateway Boulevard, which has been slow. Seems like people are given time and space out there. You can see the snow impact on the roads there as people try to get where they need to go. But as we take a look at the big map, this is actually an improvement over what we had seen earlier in the day. 90th Avenue at 50th Street, there is a crash. Also a crash, Victoria Trail, 153rd Avenue, and 50th Street northbound before the Henday. There's also a crash, but slow elsewhere. Certainly the West Henday feeling a big part of this impact. The White Mud, Fox Drive, Southwest Henday in both directions, and the southeast. Very slow as people are driving to the conditions and trying to get through that snow and ice today. Well, we need your help building an annual mountain of toys, making sure that no kid wakes up Christmas morning without a gift open under the tree. Kim is on location this morning with one of our biggest supporters. And Kim, without them, we couldn't build this mountain.
Absolutely, and they really get into it too, because they even have like a mini toy mountain right behind me. The man responsible for it is president and owner of Independent Jewelers, Jerry Gilroy. We're also joined by General Manager Heather. Good morning to both of you. Jerry, thank you so much for participating in Toy Mountain. Once again, this is your 3rd year. Why is it so special to you?
Well, we always just get donating to a lot of charities. We've been doing Toy Mountains. We're happy to do it to help people out, and we do a lot of donations in town. All we do is give.
Well, Merry Christmas, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And for all the toys, too. We're going to add this to Toy Mountain. Heather, you actually have a personal relationship to BGC, Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I do. Yeah. I'm actually honored to say that when I was little, I really called, my mom called on Big Brother, Big Sister, and I was able to go to camp with them. So I actually personally know how important the toys are for the kids, and how important it is for us to give back to those kids. So the personal connection to me is huge. So it's really beautiful to see everybody come and bring the toys for the kids, because I know how much it means to them personally.
For sure. Yeah. We're actually joined by another special guest. He is quite shiny, and he looks really good in this lighting right here. So why don't you introduce what this giveaway is?
This is our Nutcracker from Swarovski. He is valued at $1,400.
Wow.
He would be a beautiful collection to any Christmas decor. And actually, you can win him by just simply bringing in a gift for Toy Mountain, Big Brother, Big Sister. Come in and enter to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also wanted to mention to everybody at home that we get that you have a busy schedule. If you don't have time to actually go and purchase a toy, we have an Amazon wish list right on ctvedmonton.ca. You can scroll through. We have toys for every different age bracket, and it gets delivered right to Toy Mountain at Trail Appliances. How can people help out, though, at Independent Jewelers, Heather?
So either come in, of course, and drop off the gift, which is great. We also do top-up donations at the till. So monetary donations, we'll go out and we'll buy gifts then on your behalf. And then, of course, on our online sales, 5% of all online purchases go to Toy Mountain until December 19th.
Okay, Heather, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Jerry, same thing for you. Merry Christmas to both of you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. For everybody at home, please donate a new unwrapped toy way to Toy Mountain until December 19th. And if you can't do that, that's totally okay. The drop-off locations, by the way, Sentinel Storage and Any Trail Appliances. You can make a cash donation brought to you by AMJ Campbell and Independent Jewelers at ctvedmonton.ca. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Kim. Well, still ahead. Instead of fighting fires, one local man fighting for his life, overcoming that adversity, and now helping a charity raise money.
Kind of had a new respect for just simple things, walking, standing, taking care of my daughter.
Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
Giving the gift of self-care can help counter stress and promote a sense of calm for that special someone on your holiday list. National beauty expert and makeup artist Shobana Lakavalli is here to share some of her favorite ideas. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, Corey, I hate to tell you, it's T-minus 26 days today till Christmas Eve.
The countdown has begun, and it's Black Friday, which is maybe hopefully going to make it a little bit easier for people. And Shobana, how can we give a self-care gift if we're on a budget?
So I do have a foolproof strategy, and I'm going to get all of you guys finished with your list today. So number one, you want to have a stash, okay? A bunch of gifts that are under $20, but they look like they're $50, and you can give them to anybody, your brother-in-law or the cross guard. The key is you're not making it personal. So I found all of mine at Winners. I want you to focus on the category. So think brush sets, spa sets, hair sets, men's sets, stocking stuffers, and also wellness products. There's some really, really great deals. And you know what's so funny, Corey, is that I bought all these products for me, and my kids, literally called dibs on this really cute little bath bomb dispenser that looks like a gumball machine.
Okay.
And I got this for like my brother-in-law, $12.99, okay? Face wash, moisturizer. And my husband, who has all the products, wants this. So I'm back at Winners, and luckily they have, more inventory all the time.
Good. Yeah, you're going to have to keep that shopping going. What's a fun and practical self-care gift idea?
Okay, so save somebody some time. Technology. OPI just came out with their OPI Gel Mint Kit. So this means that you can actually do your gel nails at home, like while you're watching TV. I could literally put this on and start doing it right now. This kit comes with everything that you need to do your nails, and OPI has some great tutorials online. It's called Gelversity. You literally become a nail technician overnight, and this is about $99 at Shoppers Drug Mart. You can use your Optimum points, and you know what? You're saving so much time and money for the person that you love, so it's such a great present.
Very cool. What's trending when it comes to self-care?
Okay, so when it comes to self-care, if you have a beauty lover in your life, Sephora is like the place to go. Fragrances, skincare, makeup, hair care, and they have a lot of really great gift value sets. And this year, there's fragrance going on. People are loving layering that fragrance, indulging. So one of my favorite picks is the Glossier You Duo Perfume Set, because you get both of these sizes for about $120, valued at about $150. It comes in this really cute red can. And for the makeup lover or anybody, because everybody needs blush. And guess what? This kit that I'm going to talk about right now is 50% off. So just keep that in mind. So this is by Rare Beauty, and it is their Pinch Me cheek and lip trio. So you get a full-size powder blush, a lip oil, and their infamous award-winning liquid blush. So this is actually $50. It's worth $70. It's on sale for $25 today, and you can actually Uber Eats it.
Oh,
because
wow.
Sephora's partnered with Uber Eats, so you get same-day delivery.
Wow, that is a deal.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And lastly, Shobana, do you have any tips if we want to build a custom self-care gift?
Okay, so this is another deal that I just found online today. Give the gift of hydration. It gets really cold here in Toronto. I'm sure it does in Edmonton as well, and not enough of us change our skincare routine. So I recommend a day cream, a night cream, and a serum. Vichy is one of my go-to brands because it's affordable, but it's also has some fragrance-free products. And so you get a cute little gift box. I got this from the dollar store. And you're going to put the Mineral 89 100-hour day cream in there. You're going to put the Mineral 89 night cream powered by melatonin. And you're also going to put the Vichy Mineral 89 booster. What's neat about these three products is that they all have hyaluronic acid. They will help increase that moisture and strengthen that moisture barrier and fight against that cold weather that happens during the winter, the fall, and even the spring. And so this is actually usually valued at about $130. Today, if you go online on for Black Friday, it's $103, and you can also get a gift on top of that, valued at like $120. So I think that's only online today. Yeah, some really great deals.
The deals are out there. You just got to do a little looking. And Shobana, thank you for those great ideas.
Happy holidays! I hope you get that table, the coffee table.
Yes, I'm going to be looking for one today. For more beauty advice, you can follow Shobana on Instagram at Amplified Soul. Still ahead, what one local organization is calling the hottest gift this holiday season and the story behind it.
The photos in the calendar are stunning, hot.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by A Very Merry Pops with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
8:53. Here's a look at your forecast for today. -9, -8, maybe for a high. That'll be about it. We'll see a few breaks in the cloud later this afternoon and early evening. And then it's cold to start tomorrow morning. -16, -8 for Saturday. Lots of sun throughout the afternoon. -16 Sunday morning. -4 for a high. And then warmer for Monday and Tuesday. We could see temperatures around 1 for Monday, -2 on Tuesday. Monday, possibly a bit of a rain-snow mix. So we'll keep an eye on that. Still mild for Wednesday and Thursday. After that, temperatures drop off again. Kent.
All right, thank you, Corey. One of this year's hottest gifts helps kids in our community, thanks in part to the hard work of first responders who are showing it all off. One of those models making the long journey from cancer to calendar. CTV's Evan Kenny reports.
You wouldn't know it by looking at him, but a little more than a year ago, Aaron Miller was 40 pounds lighter, the result of surgery to remove his large intestine.
I took the fire department medical in 2023 and they found some trace blood in there. My doctor told me it could be one of 20 different things.
Miller was diagnosed with colon cancer. After recovering from chemotherapy, he was ready to get his body back to where it was.
The fire department, you need to be physically fit for it.
It started slow.
Maybe going on the stair climber for 2 minutes at level 1, and that was a real battle to even do that.
But Miller kept pushing.
My wife motivated me to try out for the calendar.
His hard work paid off. Miller was selected as the March model for the Edmonton Firefighter Burn Treatment Society.
The photos in the calendar are stunning, hot.
It supports the U of A's Firefighter Burn Treatment Unit. It also raises money for a summer camp for young burn victims.
They get to just come spend the week having fun with other kids that have gone through similar experiences, and they get to be seen for who they are as themselves and not so much for their burn.
Miller's wife kept track of his progress on social media. His story quickly reached millions of people, some going through a similar situation.
They said that this post has given them the inspiration and the hope that they can get through it too.
While it's easy to smile now,
it was really hard to do even just the simplest things. So I kind of had a new respect for just simple things, walking, standing, taking care of my daughter.
The calendars are available through the Society's social media pages. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Yeah.
When's our calendar come out? We'll have to.
We're going to have to get to the gym. Shout out to Aaron. What a journey. That is amazing stuff. It's going to be a journey to get to and from work and school today. Be safe out there, everybody.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid.